All right, 3 cards, just using one background. So I'm going to create this background 3 times and show you 3 different ways that I can use my backgrounds. It's a question I get quite often. I create a lot of backgrounds, but what do I do with them? So here are 3 ideas to wrap up the 12 Days of Christmas series. Don't forget you only have 5 more days to access this class for free over on my site, video description below, in which you can access tons of free downloads, videos, and all kinds of bonuses you didn't see here on my YouTube channel. And don't forget, if you're a Justine Hovey VIP member, you'll have access to this class as long as you remain a member. All right, so I am going in and blending this background with 3 colors: Fiesta Blue, Something Borrowed, and Suede Shoes, a light, a medium, and a dark shade of blue. Any type of ink will be fine for this. Create yourself a smooth blend. I've done tons of ink blending throughout the 12 Days of Christmas. Many of you know this is one of my favorite things to do to create pretty backgrounds. Now, once I am finished creating my blend, I am going to give it a little spritz of water. But instead of adding just water, I'm going to add in a little bit of Perfect Pearls in here to create a shimmer. But if you have any sort of shimmer sprays or iridescent sprays or anything like that, that will work as well. I'm just using this in a small mister bottle, and I'm just going to shake it up, and then I'm going to use it on my background. But before doing that, I'm going to add in a very pretty stencil, and I'm going to spray through the stencil. This is a super inexpensive technique that you can do with any stencil and some water, whether it's shimmer or not. And this creates such a cool, subtle background. So just add yourself a couple of spritzes. I'm going to hold it quite far up. And just don't add too much. If you're going to add a lot of water, make sure that you use watercolor paper. And just let this air dry. It will look absolutely stunning when it's done. You can see the pattern starting to come through as the ink reacts to the water. And over time, as it's drying, you're going to get this iridescent shiny look. As I hold it up to the light, you can see it there. Looks so pretty in person. Just keep in mind I did create 3 of these, and I added them to some card bases. Now, if you end up having any sort of white edges, you can go in and grab your ink pad and actually just ink around the edge, create a little bit of distressing. I think it looks really, really pretty by just adding the darkened edges. So I couldn't help it, I had to stamp the sentiment, "Silver white winters that melt into springs," a Sound of Music reference, one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm going to ink up the edges, and of course I got my inky fingers all over the cardstock, but that's okay. I ended up using a Tombow eraser to get most of that off anyway so that you couldn't notice it. And my alternative to that was going to be covering it with a sequin, but I decided to just add some sequins anyway since the ink got off there quite well. All right, so I just wanted to mention I did this technique with another stencil with a green background, and I wanted to show you what it looked like with adding all these fun sentiments. We made this in this month's VIP exclusive live class with me, which is now available for the replay for VIP members, and it's such a cute card. I love the way it turned out. That card actually ended up inspiring this video in creating these 3 cards with a background water technique. So for this card here, I die cut a background die in white, and I also die cut the background using the same die, and I'm just filling in some of the pieces. You could fill in this whole background, or you can pick and choose some of your favorite pieces to add to the background. I don't really feel it's completely necessary to make sure that all the pieces are in the right spot compared to how you die cut them. I think it looks fine just adding random ones, and then I'm just going to simply go ahead and fill in several of the hexagons. Stamping a sentiment in one of those hexagons as well, keeping things quite small. I stamped the Silent Night, Holy Night sentiment, and I love the simplicity of this card. It's pretty cool. And because you die cut your background using the hexagon die, you actually have a leftover piece for another card. So that'll create a 2-for-1 card if you'd like. The third thing I decided to do with this background here is add it to an embossing folder to give it a little bit more texture, and whoa, does it have a lot of texture. I actually did the debossing side instead of the embossing side. I always mix the 2 up, but it was a happy mistake. I like the way that it turned out. And I added something a little bit different. I don't think I've ever added 2 sentiments to a card. I've added tons of sentiments, and usually if I was adding more than one, I'd add them at an odd number. But I kind of liked having the 2 of them here, the Merry Christmas and Season's Greetings together. I don't know, thought it was pretty cool. So I just wanted to say a big thank you for joining me for the 12 Days of Christmas series throughout the month of November. I really looked forward to creating 12 different cards with you and doing a whole bunch of fun bonuses. Just wanted to give you a heads up as well. I have 2 more videos planned for 2021 before going into my holiday break, which is also my big brainstorming session for the new year, so I can come up with awesome content for everyone. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. And I wish you all a happy, safe holiday. Thanks so much for watching my 12 Days of Christmas series. I totally appreciate it. Bye!